What up? Welcome back to the pod. What's good, y'all? Y'all are just checking in with your two favorite people on the internet. It is Chicago's finest, yours truly, Uncle Don Don, everybody's favorite uncle. Joined by my virtual half, my good brother Qualls, aka.
Mr. Qualifier, how y'all doing? I feel like we're giving Dalmatian again. It ain't white, but I feel like the contrast is there.
I was gonna say if I didn't have just red across my chest, I'm like I almost teed it up as a Dalmatian introduction, but I was like, let me not be colorblind. So.
I got a black shirt with a red writing on it. I should have just went with that so we could be on theme and on brand. But we'll have more time to do that, I'm sure.
It's okay. It also, from this angle, looks like a fire department
I was
shirt.
going to
So I
ask,
feel
is
like
it that?
it's not, but that vibe fits me. I mean, I like the heat of the summer, but I don't want to go in burning buildings kind of heat. So I don't think that, the fire department would be my career path, but I do like the style of this shirt.
You don't want to be on Chicago Fire?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I think I burned myself on the stove the other day. That's as close as it's gonna get.
I
So.
mean, you do like fire. You are a pyromaniac. Ain't that the term for it?
I do. Yeah, let's go with that one because somebody else called me an arsonist, and I ain't ever burned no shit down.
That's crazy. Arsonist.
Like, I don't have a record, at least not by way of flame. Okay. Yeah, but no, I like fire. I love candles. Do not. If we just and you know what, this is gonna lead us into our conversation because you know what, I cannot stand one thing.
Mm.
It is a flameless candle. Do not give me a flameless candle. You know them little electronic candles, they got that little dumbass flicker like that to you've never seen these?
Oh, I mean, I'm visualizing it and I've seen it, but not in person, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. It's a candle that's not by wick, it's by electricity. So it gives the illusion that a candle is burning. I have those for Halloween party because I'm not trying to test out my homeowner's insurance and I don't want nobody's hair or outfit to catch on fire and then they turn into Michael Jackson. Not happening. So I do the flameless candle for the party, but I like disregard. I like open flame. So I'm always have a candle. I'm a matter of fact, I had a lighter somewhere nearby, but that was prior to. So I like flames. That being said, there are other things on my heart I would like to get off. But before we really jump into uh the conversation and check in, one, how are you? And is there anything you would like to get off your chest?
I'm doing good. The week has started off well. Again, going back to my point about being in a good space, I just think I'm responding to things way better than I usually have. And not even that everything is an inconvenience or a frustration, but when something doesn't go the way I want to, or when something doesn't happen in the way that I hoped it did or felt like it should, I just feel like I've been much better about like turning my negative thoughts positive, like very quickly. I don't know. I just don't have the time to really waste with negative energy. Like thinking negatively and thinking pessimistically is so tiring and so exhausting. And I'd rather not waste any more time doing that. So yeah, the week has started off good. But in the spirit of gears being grinded, the one thing that does grind my gears that I've found as of recent is sometimes you play phone tag with a person, right? Sometimes it happens. Life gets busy, you might miss people a couple times. But what
Mhm.
I don't understand is, so like say if you don't talk often with a person, but they FaceTime you, right? Because I think everybody can agree that a FaceTime like is a big deal. Like I get that some people are FaceTime people, but I'm not the type of person just FaceTime in and everybody, right? So if we FaceTime that there's some relationship there, or like we got some rapport that we've earned the status of we FaceTime each other versus a text or a call. Homie FaceTimes me, right? Outside of our group chat, like me and this particular homie, cool, ain't got no beef, but like we don't talk that often. Homie FaceTime me, right? I miss it. I FaceTime him back. No answer. I text him. Hey man, I was recording, missed your FaceTime. What's the word? What's going on? Right? Nothing. Crickets. 24 hours later, today, get a FaceTime again. I miss it. But now I'm frustrated because I'm like, you also didn't say nothing to my text. So what are you faced? Like, what's going on? Is it urgent? Is it an emergency? Like, do you need something? Like, what is it? What's going on? Because we don't, this ain't normal. So I would hope that your assumption is not that I'm just supposed to answer like, oh yeah, what's good, bro? Another day in the neighborhood. Like, nah, bro, what do you want? Respectfully, my guy. But yeah, that kind of grinds my gears. I don't understand the logic behind it. That's me personally. Could just be a me thing. Could just be a me thing. But that grinds my gears a little bit, I would say.
That's fair. No, I could see how that is grind worthy. I feel like I'm not about to play phone tag. I think phone tag is a grind my gears moment in general because what? Leave a voicemail, text me, send me an email if you got to. Like, just we not about. I'm not about to call you and just play t this tennis match of press and send. So,
We got a voice memo.
what? Yeah, what do you? What is it that you want?
Like, what you want? What's going on with you? Like, what you want me to do?
Even if it's you got one missed call from me, I ain't calling you back. Damn, and I'm gonna call you back and I hope you don't answer the phone.
That's
So
real, very real.
it's
I'm
like,
doing
oh, you didn't let it
everything.
ring. Oh, it rang so much on my end. Bullshit. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to talk.
I feel that. That's real. That's real. But yeah, so that's your only other grinding gears moment.
Um, I mean, let's be real. It's me. I have several. I think the word gets on my nerves, and I just tolerate it because I like to be among the people.
Right.
But yeah, no, there are several things. I will say in the last few weeks of where we have seen the public consumption of the world, I'm also generally annoyed by people being in other people's business. And like even before we get into that part, the real thing that I think that also grinds my gears is I cannot stand a person that thinks they are friends with everybody. And you know exactly who I'm talking about when I give this example because there is an unsavory nickname that I have for said person that I realize is unacceptable. That aside, I can't stand when somebody feel like they're friends with everybody. You do not know everybody. You do not need to know everybody. Just back up. Get everybody 50 feet. Like these are strangers. I can't stand you just coming to a group of people and all of a sudden you with the inside jokes and coming up with nicknames. I'm sorry, what was your last name? Where'd you just come from again? Oh, okay. Oh God. But the public consumption of the world, the real thing that grinds my gears is that everybody is in everybody else's business, particularly when it comes to relationships.
Very true, and particularly when it comes to celebrity relationships and or public relationships, which is what we're getting to in the topic of the conversation today. But but this whole idea of the placement of celebrities or public figures in the world is also an interesting concept, but that digs so deep into fame and the idea of how people see fame and even attention. Like it's a weird, that's a weird realm that some people live in that I try not to, but a lot of things are put on Front Street, whether it is those couples' choices or not, which therefore becomes conversation topics for the general public, because people just want to talk about things going on with the people who are most popular in the world or the people who they care about, look up to, care about what's going on in their life, whatever the case may be. But it's been a lot going on. Again, kind of similar to the Love Island conversation we had. Like I think the discourse becomes more frustrating because it's like I think it's one thing to talk about things generally, but I don't think conversations remain general when we're talking about public figures or celebrities. Like somehow, some way, it always becomes personal. And I feel like it just goes to show that a lot of people don't know how to remove personal biases or personal feelings, like when having those conversations.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I think that there's a certain affinity that we have to public figures that we naturally, follow them and in some way are involved in their lives, but it should be from a distance and it should be like surface level. But if you see who got cheated on, Beyonce and Jay-Z.
mhm.
Right. So Jay-Z did his thing and they're like, oh my God, how could you do that to Beyonce? And then Solange comes in with the uppercut on the elevator and was like, yeah, you're not about to do that to my sister. Now everybody's really involved in the story. And rightfully so, because this is like a public display or something, right? That's
Wait,
exactly what
who was the lady? Who was the lady with the arm muscle from back in the day that they was using?
Rosie the Riveter.
Maybe I don't know, but the lady she had
Yeah.
blue jacket
Yeah.
on. That's what she. Yeah, that's what you just did. That's crazy. But
That's exactly what Solange just did. She shifted her wig and beat his ass. Okay. So everybody's involved in that because now the story's ongoing. But
right,
if you go into, say, I don't know, just another random celebrity couple that's like doing well, like people get so involved into their lives and like then have podcasts about celebrity relationships, like as the common theme, not the irony of this conversation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, who cares? I'm sorry. Are you in a relationship or are you single? Do you have any business? Like that's the thing. Like I just feel like people are just far too nosy.
Yeah, and I don't. I wish I could say that like it's a phase or it's a trend or that we'll get past it as a society, but it's always been a thing, and it probably always will be a thing. And I think that now the scary part about today is the public opinion, public conversation is probably the strongest and most dangerous it's been as it relates to not only, the relationship of those public figures, but their reputations as individuals, like depending on who they are. Cause like you said, it gets weird because, with Beyonce and Jay-Z, they both have their own like large fan bases, right? But Beyonce's is bigger. And you have a lot of people that, as fans of Beyonce, feel like they are related to her, know her personally, have lunch with her every week, whatever the case may be. So in their minds, there's nobody worthy of the queen bee, right? Jay-Z is so lucky to have her and all these things of that nature. So when something does happen, that gets reiterated through conversations and public opinion, and they're a little bit different because obviously they're high enough and can distance themselves enough, to where public opinion don't really matter for them, but for some couples, it does. I.e., something more recent, the Coldplay couple, cheating CEO, whatever, whatever title you want to give that whole scenario. But it was crazy to see that happen in real time, and not it's only crazy because it's like the amount of time something like that has probably occurred just in the regular world probably happens every day. Probably happening at every single concert that's going on, right? This just so happened to be the CEO of a major tech company. Um, and people recognized him, obviously. And TikTok did his thing, and then boom, here we are. Cheating CEO scandal. But yeah, then that had its own thing of who the CEO was, who he was cheating with. Then it was the wife of the CEO. I don't even know if we had a story from the husband or the other lady. But it's too much. It's too
It's
much.
too much. And with that, like, first of all, you told on yourself. Nobody knew the child was cheating. If it would have come out, obviously, because whatever the song was, you all hugged up. First of all, my issue with that, not that everybody was in these people's business and now I'm so involved in this celebrity couple. Like, that's a juicy story. I'm obviously involved as the thread started to unravel. But my man's tried to, backtrack the cheating CEO and then put out like he was suing Coldplay for like invasion of privacy or some shit. And it's like, my guy, you are now a public couple. It for all accounts and whatever. Just stand on it. Understand what you did. figure out how that impacts your, work life, your professional life, or what have you, and then go about your business. You're suing this group for invasion of privacy, and you, my guy, was stepping out on your wife, and you, my guy, went to a concert, a public concert, not even some like cute little lo-fi, back of the basement kind of moment. You were in a stadium not only with another woman, with your head of HR, you now have a public relationship with an employee, okay? And then you stand in the aisle. You don't even try to be cute shoulder to shoulder in the seats you paid for. You said, "Ooh, this is our song. We should go over the rail." What? And now you mad at everybody in your business, and now you had to step down. Homegirl had to step down. Your wife changed her last name on Facebook. Like, be so for real. So yeah, just everything about public couples and shit just really gets under my skin.
First off, uh, black question for the scenario in question, sir. I know you got enough money for a suite. I
Okay.
know you got enough money for something more private, and privacy was your main concern. How you just out all in the open and now you blaming Coldplay? Like this ain't Coldplay fault. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Everybody else that just lives and breathes into other people's business and celebrity couples it just makes me want to pull my hair out strand by strand. Because go and do something else with your time. Find something to do.
nah, for real. And I mean at that it's even funnier because something a little bit more, I guess, for us and in our community. Meg Thee Stallion is dating someone new. I feel like I only know it only matters to me because it happens to be an NBA player. And it's funny because there's jokes like this is her second NBA player that she's dated, and I would say since the events of 2020, she's dated around. I ain't saying it's something unorthodox or something to be talked about like it's scandalous, but she's dated around. And I think that has now become the conversation, and I think it's worse when you talk about people in our culture and our people in general because we just uh, we so judgmental, and it's just like none of it matters. We don't know these people. Who care about who that girl dating for real? But like there are pages that are dedicated to these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? So like it is there's an audience for it, and like that type of information and media is being consumed, and then it gets thrown into the algorithm whether you want it to or not, so we're all seeing it anyway. But again, like all the people that have an opinion on what Meg is doing, or even for the people that might have an opinion on her man, Clay Thompson, for those that don't know, NBA player, for what he's doing, is just like I don't know, like it don't matter. But for whatever reason, it matters to us because we care about these stories. There's a community of people that live for like the events of the famous, the lives of the famous. And I don't get it. I don't relate to it, but it's a thing. It's here. Sucks to suck.
Yeah. There's a portion of what you just said that there's a portion of it like that's the awareness community, right? And you said, "Oh, I'm just aware because, this athlete. Like I just know because of what I consume." And then there's the other side of the conversation, like you said, that is entertainment. Like these people thrive in being involved and included in these public like couples and relationships because it gives them some level of entertainment and dare I say purpose, which is part of the problem. But you know what it is?
Mm.
Gossip has not had a center stage the way that it does now because of the access that we have. While we are now more connected and in tune with, I don't know, the world around us, like that can be a good thing. Clearly, it's a bad thing when it's just overconsumption and you say, "Ooh, now I'm gonna just plug my attention into Beyonce and Jay-Z, the Coldplay couple, Will and Jada and August on a good day." Like it's just, so it's just like back in the day, if you wanted to gossip, they was sending courier pigeons to Winterfell to tell them what happened, in the land of what was going on. Then we got to, Lady Whistledown and she got her pen and was like, let me put this in, every week, every month, this gonna go out. So like we see that happen and it made sense for the time. Now you don't have to, send a smoke signal to then send a message. I can take a picture, I can put it on the internet, and millions of people can have it in milliseconds. So now it's just like, oh, not only do I have it, I see other people have it too, and now we can talk about it. So we went from like 227 to just being on the porch talking about what we see to saying like, let me put everything out so we can cast this community conversation and all be nosy as hell. So
Yeah,
access is a
yeah.
killer.
Access is Yeah, access is crazy. And it's funny, we talked about like access with like to our sales, but no, that's a great point that you make. Like the access that we have to people in general now, especially celebrities, is it's too much, it's too dangerous because these people, like outside of what lifestyle they may be afforded because of what they do, like I think it's lost on a lot of people that these are regular people that just happen to be in the spotlight. So the same way that you might deal with a breakup is just the fact that you don't got a million fans that care about this breakup because they care about you or care about what may come from this breakup. Whereas if it happens with a celebrity, you got people that's just solely invested in what's going on because they're a celebrity that don't even care about the breakup, divorce, whatever. And I hate that that's a conversation. Like I hate that people make that a conversation, and it happens with everyday people as well, right? Like other people around them may make it a conversation, but like I just hate that other people's trauma. I hate that other people's um experiences because we don't know how this is affecting people, and then ultimately we don't care. It doesn't matter how it's affecting these people because it's just conversation for us. Like our
Mhm.
investment is in the entertainment aspect of it, and I hate that the the same way technology has been beautiful and allowed us access to certain things, that people have finessed it to be for entertainment at the expense of others. And as a celebrity, as a public figure, that is par for the course and part of the game, which I think that's why you see a lot of people now talk about fame the way they do, have the relationship with fame that they do, or people that might be public figures but want to stay out of the limelight because who wants to deal with that? We wouldn't want to deal with it as people who are not public figures. So just because they are doesn't mean that that's something that they wanted to sign up for. It just comes with the territory, but still unfortunate.
And you know what's interesting too, like you say at the expense of somebody, in terms of cancel culture and public opinion, because they are now so involved in other people's relationships, like it's impacting these people's livelihoods. So when you see like public divorces or your cheating CEO, that kind of thing, not only did he step down from his role, I think his head of HR, his little lady mistress or whatever, she went down from her role as well. I say this with love, but people cheat every day. I got some friends that didn't had a little situation. They still got their job. Dudes especially, and I love my Chicago people, but like they say Chicago dudes don't cheat. I don't, but I know several that do, and they still bringing Amazon packages to the door. So like, why are we not that involved in these people's relationships? Like, are we really just cutting the line there? But again, it's the access to entertainment because you got shows like Cheaters. Do you remember Cheaters?
Yeah,
Right. Pure entertainment.
you're
Pure.
entertained.
And I say all of this in this conversation, and I have consumed a lot of these things, but that show went on for a while. The Jerry Springers and the Maury's of the, cheating exes and neighbors and stuff. It's just like, how did this become entertainment?
You got to think about what entertains people now, right? Like just think of where we are today, right? Like you got you people are going to be interested in what they're interested in. But think of like the world me and you grew up in is not the world that like the I don't even know if it's fair. I mean, you could say Gen Z, but like if let's just say after 2000, let's just call it that. If you grew up in this world after 2000, unless you grew up in a household or in a community where your influence comes from, truly comes from generations previous, like you, all you know is access. The only world that they know is having all this access because they only know technology. They only know the ability to, search things on the internet. They only know that, oh, we're getting told all these things about, celebrities' lives that we didn't even ask for. I didn't even have to go look for this information. It's just here. And so I think it's expected. I think the entertainment, the conversation, whatever makes it relevant, like I think that's expected now. And that doesn't make it better, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, kind of I genuinely think people feel like it's normal for this to be a thing. Like that's just part of the news cycle now. And nobody kind of sees it. I mean, we're having conversations about it, and I'm pretty sure there are other people that talk about it in this context of why it's problematic and what's wrong with it. But for a lot of people, it truly is the norm. Like, think of how many people get their news from social media outlets.
Mhm.
And social media outlets ain't telling you about too many killings. They ain't telling you about what's happening at the corner store. They tell you about these celebrities. And
Valid.
yeah, so, and I don't know. Also, kind of to the Will and Jada point, but really with all of, well, and maybe not so much the CEO, like CEO thing, but Megan Thee Stallion and Clay might fall into this, but I think the Obamas even are kind of a better example. A lot of these relationships become couple goals almost solely because of who the people are, both as public figures and then the
Mhm.
lifestyle, right? Which is crazy because I'm like, it's probably, it's probably a Deshaun and a Katrina somewhere. That's the real couple goals. You know what I mean? We just don't know them, and they just not living a lifestyle of glamour that makes it something to admire or strive for from the materialistic standpoint. But I also think it's very unfair to look at these public figures and these celebrities and couples and say it's couple goals because of not only just the materialistic aspect that you see, but also what they show us. A lot of those couples are very strategic in what we see, so we aren't seeing them as like the real couple that they are, whether that's for better or worse, like we're not seeing it, right? So it's slippery slope.
Yeah, and I would say it's probably rare that we see the authentic representation of these public couples like Michelle and Barack, two, especially for the culture, two black people that appear to love each other and we revere them so much, right? That's auntie and uncle, that's mom and dad. That's like we put them, on a pedestal, rightfully so. But then there was the rumors of, oh my God, are they going through a hard time? Are they going through a divorce? Like, what does this mean for the community? Like, respectfully, not shit. Like, you should still be able to live your life. But, when they are the gold standard, because if you look at it in your immediate life, it would be like if you had best friends or if you had this, older aunt, uncle or whatever, they was together forever and all of a sudden they split. You're like, damn, if it happened to them, it could happen to anybody. But at the end of the day, you still also have to realize on a public figure side, these are characters. Even with the former president and first lady Barack and Michelle, like yes, they are real people, but to what point just was of what we see, it's a character. Like I'm pretty sure if Barack and Michelle were at home watching TV, right? Maybe they want to watch cheaters for some entertainment. Their conversation is very different than what you would see on a podium, rightfully so.
Honestly, this all comes back to love. People's idea of love, what people want love to look like, what people think love is. And the messed up part is you got regular people who have became public figures that still have regular people emotions that did not ask to be, but have become the example for so many people solely off of status that now their impact is wider than they even realize. And the people who are impacted don't even kind of realize the real root of why all of this is a problem. Why now the conversations that are being had around it are a problem, and the impact on the community as a whole, our people, our culture, is not realized by enough of the masses for us to make a change before it continues to be the detriment that it is. Checking out moral of the story, mind your business. I just mind your business. No, but no, for real. Mind the business that pay you. Find you some, as I like to tell Callie. I ain't calling y'all dogs or nothing. I'm just saying, find you some business. That ain't a
Yeah, it could be oh so simple. Like let's just be aware of other couples and relationships and things like that without digging too deep and now feeling like we are a throuple into these people's lives because they're people just like us and they want some privacy. Like I want to be able to go shopping without somebody in my business instead of saying, "Oh my God, there go Donald. Did you see, what he did to so and so?" Leave me alone. So yes, I'm as we check out, I want everybody else to check out other people's business and find some of your own. The world is too big for you not to have some business of your own.
truly. And as we have become advocates for, touch some grass. And don't touch other people's grass. Touch your own grass. Find your own grass to touch, along with finding your own business to mind, and you'll be just fine, as our Auntie Mary told us years ago. But on that note, until, until the next time we check in with y'all, we will catch y'all on the next episode, man.
Peace.